dangerous man in British wrestling makes his way into the centre of the Brunel, the Scouse Psycho, Sean Only, who is boyless tonight. A rarity with Sean Only. What you are going to see here at Rise Point of the Sign is not for the faint-hearted. A Russian chain match between two guys who have gone back and forth with each other for well over a year. And it all comes to a head in moments. These two can't get away from each other, so therefore they are literally not going to be able to get away from each other. A Russian chain match here at Rise in moments. Sean Only, as popular as any man from Liverpool would be in the centre of Leeds. Not that he's bothered. Incredible talent. A decorated former TNT Wrestling Extreme Champion. But that's not going to help him against the man about to make his way to the ring.
And now for his opponents.
There's vodka at the bar and Boris in the Brunel, the most popular wrestler here at Rise, is straight out of the Kremlin. The vodka-powered Russian wrecking ball, Boris Kozlov, who tonight has promised to tear strips off a Scouser, namely Sean Only. And now it falls to Cowboy John to get this match in some semblance of order. It's a Russian chain match, no count out, it is no disqualification. Oh, these two, you will not find a more heated rivalry between two guys this side of the Pennines. Boris Kozlov and Sean Only have gone back and forth. A rivalry that's caused ructions not just here at Rise, but all the way to TNT Wrestling in Liverpool as well.
We've been through the rules. There's no count out, no disqualification. It's pinfall or submission only. About 2 points.
Cowboy John reminding us of just how barbaric this match is going to be. Boris can choke Sean Only with that chain for half an hour and it's as legal as an arm drag takedown. Sean Only somewhat reluctant. And I would say I'm not surprised. Why would you want to chain yourself to a Russian unless it's some kind of bizarre stag weekend? So just think over the last 12 months what these two have done to each other. Boris and Sean, back and forth. Boris cost Sean Only his TNT Extreme Championship. And straight away, Sean Only with a low drop kick takes control early. And Sean's not even been chained yet. Now the rules of the match is that the one rule in this match is that Sean Only needs to be chained to Boris Kozlov, but it doesn't look like that's happening for the time being. Sean Only, it's like he's got Boris on a leash. There we go. Now Cowboy John putting the chain on Sean Only. But Boris already fighting from underneath. Sean Only got the jump early on. Very much like Sean Only jumped Boris Kozlov in his Rise title match at Kingdom Come back in December. Had it not been for Sean Only in Boy 1 and Boy 2, I do believe Boris Kozlov would be defending his Rise Championship tonight. But that's by the by. It's not about that. It's not about boys. It's not about Boris buses. It's about two brutes and a length of chain here at the Brunel. Boris back in control. And he seems to have... Both men now seem to be shackled via the ring rope. Great kick, that MMA background by Sean Only. He's probably going to serve him very well in a match like this, as he receives a barrage of elbows by Boris Kozlov as he drives Sean Only into the ropes. Normally you'd bounce back from that, but not when you're strapped to a chain, strapped to an angry Russian. And Boris is stomping a vodka mud hole into Sean Only's heart. Boris Kozlov, who has won the hearts of everybody here at Rise. The Rise faithful love a bit of Boris, and but Sean Only took that one opportunity that Boris took to salute the Rise faithful and took control of this match once again. Boris on the ground after being pulled off the top rope, courtesy of Sean Only. And that chain being used as a weapon. You're going to see a lot of this in this match. But Sean Only, the Scouse Psycho, keeping it simple and lashing Boris Kozlov with that chain. Well over a year of pent-up aggression between these two, coming to a head in brutal fashion. This is not going to be a pretty match to watch. This is not going to be a wrestling classic. It is two guys who despise each other, tied together by chain, as they have been tied together for the last 12 months. Boris is on the receiving end. Sean Only has scouted this match well, keeps hitting those clotheslines with the chain. Sean Only wants to get this done quick. It benefits Sean Only to get the match done quick. The longer Boris goes, this is Boris Kozlov's wheelhouse. The longer this goes, it does not benefit Sean Only.
Funny fuckers, aren't you?
Sean and the Rise faithful, they'll never truly see eye to eye. And here we go. Underneath the Rise ring, you will find a plethora of weaponry. And in a chain match, it don't matter. Sean Only with a steel chair in hand just got the steel chair driven into his own face as Boris pulled on the chain, and the Rise faithful giving it to Sean Only. You heard. Boris Kozlov now back in control of this match. Sean Only seeing stars after having that chain drag the chair into his own face. And we knew it wouldn't take long before these two made it out to the Rise faithful, as Boris Kozlov wrapping that chain around his head, around his arm I should say, and around his hand, like wrestling's most painful coal miner's glove. Boris Kozlov is now choking Sean. He's got Sean by the throat. No. See, I thought he grabbed him by the throat there. But anytime you punch with that chain in your hand, you're timesing 2 for damage if you're an RPG player. As Boris and Sean Only make their way onto the stage here at the Brunel. Great view for everybody from there, as the two men who have been at loggerheads for a year finish off some unfinished business. And the Rise faithful coming to their feet for Boris Kozlov. Metaphorically, obviously, I mean, they've been on their feet all night. We do love the Rise faithful for that. Boris has been taken out by Sean Only, and Sean's got a window of opportunity to recover from the onslaught he's received from Boris. Boris looks like he's in a bad way. And Sean Only, the man who calls himself the most dangerous man in British wrestling, maybe moments away from proving just how dangerous he can be, with a length of chain wrapped around his arm. This is a turning point for both these men tonight. Whatever happens, they can carry on their wrestling careers knowing who is the better man. Sean Only can make his way back to TNT Wrestling, claim back his Extreme title. Boris Kozlov can establish dominance in the Rise roster once again, maybe go on to become Rise champion, but they have got to finally get this done tonight. Because as we've seen, when both men have not been wrestling each other, there's been shenanigans afoot. They need to get this done tonight. And Boris back on his feet, and Sean Only with that MMA thrust kick takes Boris back down again. Sean is now keeping Boris at a distance. Sean is taking his time. He's playing this match to his pace. And Boris is bleeding. We advise that if you're non-alcoholic, one, stay away from the bar, and two, don't go anywhere near Boris while he's bleeding. It could be 19% proof. Kozlov on the ring apron now, picking up Sean Only. Oh, and Sean fights back. DDT on the hardest part of the ring apron. Sean Only driving Boris Kozlov's head into the ring apron. And Boris is already bust open. That is going to do no favours. Sean now. Sean Only has seen, he's seen his handiwork. And he's planning something here with that chain, draping it over the ropes. Boris may not know where he is. He may think he's back in Russia at this point. And Sean Only, it's as legal as a headlock. The Scouse Psycho is choking the life out of Boris Kozlov with that chain. Pure aggression between two men, both divided by a body of water that hate each other. And Sean Only is going to see that this is the last time not only he sees Boris Kozlov, but Rise sees Boris Kozlov too. He didn't hold it for very long, but trust me, it was effective. A choke in a wrestling match is effective at any time, but then you wrap a chain around the guy's neck as well, and Boris may not know where he is. Boris may be out on his feet. Sean Only well and truly in control of this Russian chain match. Picture perfect super kick by Sean Only, who is now in his pump. I think he was looking for a weapon and changed his mind just then. Oh, the act of defiance from Boris, who gets super kicked right in the face for his trouble. Boris Kozlov, with what may have been that final ounce of his being, flipping off Sean Only. And Sean Only now armed with that steel chair from earlier on. The chair that was driven into his own head by Boris Kozlov. This does not look good for Boris. He's in a bad way with a steel chair. And he whips the chain into the chair and into Boris. 2 count only. Boris kicking out of 2, kicking out again. Do not underestimate the power and the persistence of the vodka-powered Russian wrecking ball. And the Rise faithful getting behind Boris. Sean Only shouting at Boris Kozlov to stay down. But Boris, how is Boris moving? Boris is being willed on by the Rise faithful. And nothing's working. We've reached happy hour at the bar. And Boris is about to blow. Thunderous forearms by Kozlov. And a clothesline with the chain. Boris Kozlov getting a second wind. This is 11:30 on a Saturday night. If you've been out since 5, it's that part of the night where just when you you think you're done. You get another wind, and Boris Kozlov is heading back to the proverbial bar. And Boris is going to get extreme. And he's going to drop the Cossack on Sean Only's body. Chain on the chair into the chest of Sean Only multiple times. And the most devastating Cossack leg drop you'll see outside the Kremlin. Sean Only, though, give the devil his due. Sean Only kicking out at 2. This is not about Boris buses. This is not about boys. This is not about trips to Liverpool and titles. It's all about 2 men, a Russian chain, and a score to be settled. On Boris, looking to end this once and for all, but Sean Only managing to fight out, and those kicks, those harsh MMA kicks. And there's the last caress with the steel, with the chain. And Boris kicks out at 2. You don't see many people kick out of the last caress, let alone with a chain involved. But Boris has put himself in elite company, and the match goes on. Sean Only at an absolute loss of what to do about the Boris problem. Boris is out. Boris is out. Boris may have expended his last bit of energy to kick out of that last caress. Oh, Sean Only now, he's picking his moment. I think one kick could send Sean Only back to Lime Street with the win. Sean misses! White Russian noise by Boris Kozlov! That's going to be it! Oh, wait, oh, here we go! We were wondering about this. Boy number 2, who's been conspicuous by his absence the whole match, now sticking his oar in. Boy number 2, that may have cost Boris the match. The White Russian fusion. Low blow to Boris Kozlov. White Russian noise should have finished this match off. And Sean Only, with the assist of boy number 2, is now going to choke the life out of Boris Kozlov. The chain wrapped around the neck, and a rear naked choke firmly applied. Boris is fading. The Rise faithful are willing Boris to have one more trip to the bar. One more trip to the bar for Boris. Could we see one more rise from Boris Kozlov at Rise? As Sean Only watches the life seep out of Boris Kozlov. That chain around the neck, that rear naked choke. How is Boris moving? The ref's calling a road break. Boris survives. And Sean Only, rightly so, calling out Cowboy John in a no DQ match. We shouldn't have had the road break, but Cowboy John, the official in this match, what he says goes, and Sean Only might want to turn around because Boris is back on his feet. Low blow to Sean Only. You could call this a comeback. You could call it a coup. One very angry Russian armed with chain just took out boy number 2. Back to the bar for another white submission. Noise. And back down goes Boy 2. And that's half a second. That half a second that Boris Kozlov took to take boy number 2 out of the game gave Sean Only some breathing room to kick out of another White Russian noise. We've seen both these guys pull out every move in their arsenal, using chains in many cases, but it's not quite enough. Sean Only and Boris Kozlov and Sean Only, the final insult to Boris Kozlov, and a crossface on Sean Only. Sean Only is locked in the crossface. And Boris broke the hold. Boris could see Sean trying to reach for the ropes and he stopped it. And Boris has got that chain. And now he's leathering. He's taking the skin off the back of Sean Only. And a crossface with the chain. Boris has got the crossface with the chain, and Boris has made Sean Only submit.
Your winner by submission, Boris Kozlov.
There will be parties in the Kremlin tonight as Boris Kozlov defeats Sean Only once and for all. Forget the parties at the Kremlin, there's going to be parties at the Brunel. Boris Kozlov, in the most extreme way possible, with that steel chain wrapped around the throat, wrapped around the mouth of Sean Only. Boris has made Sean Only say, "I quit," in the Russian chain match. What a huge win at Rise Point at the Sign for the vodka-powered Russian wrecking ball known as Boris Kozlov. Tonight, Boris Kozlov may have put a full stop on the appalling sentence that is Sean Only, who's heading back to Birkenhead. A defeated man, boyless, busless and winless. Outdone and outmaneuvered in a Russian chain match by Boris Kozlov. A huge match here at Rise Point at the Sign, and we are not even done. A huge tag team war imminent, and our main event tonight, two friends, now foes, in the first ever Rise deathmatch. Dr. Darwin and Big Joe with the Rise Championship on the line in our main event at the Brunel at Rise Point at the Sign.